Kate Morrison stood at the window of the spaceship and looked out at the stars. She had been in space for 3 months now. The ship was called the Horizon, and it carried the first human team to meet aliens, real aliens from other worlds. Captain Ryan Wells walked over to her. He was the leader of their group. "Big day tomorrow," he said. "We dock at the alien station." Kate nodded. She was a Marine before joining this mission. She knew how to stay calm when things got serious. Tomorrow, they would meet the Galactic Coalition. Over 200 alien species belonged to this group. They ruled most of the known galaxy. The next morning came fast. The Horizon connected to Station Kepler 7. It was huge, bigger than any city on Earth. The station floated in space and served as a meeting place for all the alien races. Kate walked off the ship with the other humans. The first thing she noticed was the aliens everywhere. Some looked like giant lizards, covered in shiny scales. Others had bug eyes and too many legs. Some had fur and walked on 4 legs like animals but stood upright like people. A tall lizard alien approached them. The translator device on Kate's uniform turned his words into English. "Welcome to Kepler 7. I am Ambassador Zex Thor of the Vrexian people. Follow me." The humans followed Zex Thor through the station. Aliens stopped to stare at them. Some whispered to each other. Kate heard the translator pick up words like weak and fragile and new species. They entered a large meeting room. Aliens from many different races sat around a curved table. In the middle stood a woman named Julie Brooks. She was Earth's main ambassador. Next to her was Captain Wells. "Thank you for receiving us," Brooks said to the Alien Council. "Earth wishes to join the Galactic Coalition." An old alien with fur like a deer stood up. "We welcome new species. But membership requires certain steps. You must prove your people can survive in this galaxy." Another alien spoke. This one looked like a giant ape covered in thick gray fur. "Every species in the coalition has passed the proving grounds. It is our tradition. After C, after C, after C, after C, after C." Kate leaned over to Lieutenant Ben Carter, who stood next to her. "What's the proving grounds?" she whispered. Ben had been studying alien cultures since they left Earth. "Combat arena," he whispered back. "Species send fighters to prove they're strong enough to survive. Out here." The meeting continued for hours. The aliens were polite but distant. They treated humans like children who didn't understand how the galaxy worked. Kate felt her frustration growing. That evening, the human team gathered in their quarters on the station. Ambassador Brooks looked tired. "They won't take us seriously. They won't take us seriously," she said. "Every species here earned respect by fighting in their arena. Until we do the same, they'll see us as weak." Captain Wells frowned. "We're diplomats, not gladiators. But we need to show them what humans can do," Brooks replied. "If we want a real place at the table, we need to participate in their traditions." Kate spoke up. "I'll do it." Everyone turned to look at her. "I trained in fighting my whole life," Kate continued. "Before the Marines, I studied martial arts. I can handle myself." "You've seen the aliens here," Captain Wells said. "Some of them are twice your size. Some have natural armor. Some have 4 arms." "I know," Kate said. "But someone has to show them that humans don't back down. That we're tougher than we look. Ben pulled up videos on his tablet. "Look at this. This is footage from recent arena matches." He showed them clips of alien fighters. The big lizard ones, called Vrexians, moved incredibly fast. The ape-like Mandorians could bend metal bars with their hands. Some aliens had weapons growing from their bodies. "You could get seriously hurt," said Dr. Helen Price, their medical officer. Kate met their eyes. "Earth sent us here to make first contact. To show the galaxy who we are. Right now, they think we're nothing. If I can change that, it's worth the risk." Ambassador Brooks was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. If you're willing, I'll support it. But Kate, understand what this means. The entire galaxy will be watching. You'll represent all of humanity. I understand, Kate said. The next day, Kate went to the arena registration office. A Vrexian sat behind a desk. He looked at her with his strange vertical pupils. You wish to enter the proving grounds? Yes, Kate said. The Vrexian's scaled face showed what might have been surprise. You are human. Your species just arrived. Do you understand the risks? Fighters are often injured. Sometimes, permanently. I understand, Kate repeated. Very well. He entered her information into a computer. You have 1 week before the trials begin. Use that time to prepare. Or to reconsider. Word spread fast through the station. A human had signed up for the proving grounds. Aliens talked about it everywhere. Most thought it was foolish. Some found it interesting. A few seemed to respect the courage, even if they thought Kate had no chance of winning. Kate spent every day training. The Horizon had a gym, and she used every piece of equipment. She practiced throws, strikes, and holds. Captain Wells assigned Ben to help her. He had been a boxing champion in the military. They studied videos of alien fighters together. The big ones rely on strength, Ben said. They're used to overpowering everyone. That could be a weakness. How? Kate asked. They don't expect opponents to use technique. If you can use their strength against them, you might have a chance. Kate practiced falling and rolling. She worked on moves that used leverage instead of power. She knew she couldn't win with strength. She needed to be smarter and faster. On the 3rd day, a Vrexian warrior came to watch her train. He was huge. Over 7 feet tall. His scales reflected the lights like metal. I am Krelnak, he said. I will be your first opponent in the arena. Kate stopped and looked at him. Nice to meet you. I came to tell you that you should withdraw. Krelnak said. I do not wish to hurt you badly. But in the arena, I will not hold back. I wouldn't want you to, Kate said. See you in the arena. Krelnak tilted his head, studying her. After he left, Ben looked worried. That's who you're fighting first? He's one of their best warriors. Good, Kate said. If I'm going to prove something, might as well prove it against the best. The other humans on the station started coming to watch Kate train. Scientists, engineers, and crew members would stop by. They wanted to see if she really had a chance. Some brought her food and water. Others offered advice. 2 days before the fight, Ambassador Brooks pulled Kate aside. You can still back out. No one would blame you. Yes, they would, Kate said. And they'd be right to. We came here to show we belong. Running away proves we don't. The night before the arena trial, Kate received messages from Earth. Her family sent her videos. Her old Marine friends sent encouragement. Her martial arts teacher from when she was a kid sent a simple message that said, remember your training and trust yourself. Kate slept well that night. Her mind was clear. She knew the next day would be the hardest challenge of her life. But she was ready. She had trained her whole life for this, even if she hadn't known it at the time. When she woke up the next morning, she felt calm. She ate breakfast, stretched, and put on her fighting uniform. It was simple. No armor or protection, just tough fabric that wouldn't tear easily. Ben met her at the gym. How do you feel? Ready, Kate said. Remember everything we practiced. Keep moving. Use his strength against him. Don't let him grab you. I know, Kate said. She smiled at him. Thanks for helping me prepare. Go show them what humans are made of, Ben said. Kate walked toward the arena. The hallways were full of aliens heading to watch the fight. They stared at her as she passed. Some looked curious. Others looked like they felt sorry for her. She didn't care what they thought. She had a job to do. She was going to show the galaxy that humans were not weak. That they could fight and win against impossible odds. That they belonged among the stars. The arena entrance was ahead. Kate took a deep breath and walked through the door. The arena was bigger than Kate expected. It could hold 20,000 people. But people wasn't the right word. 20,000 beings from across the galaxy filled the seats. The noise was incredible. Clicks, roars, whistles, and sounds Kate had never heard before all mixed together. The arena floor was smooth and dark. It stretched out like a giant circle with bright lights shining down. Screens floated in the air, showing her face to the crowd. Kate walked to the center and waited. The announcer's voice boomed through the space. The translator turned it into English for her. Today we witness a historic moment. A human enters the proving grounds for the first time. Kate Morrison of Earth faces Krelnak of Vrexia. Krelnak entered from the opposite side. He looked even bigger in the arena lights. His scales shimmered like they were made of crystal and metal mixed together. His clawed hands flexed as he walked. His tail swung behind him for balance. Kate tried to slow her breathing. Her heart was pounding, but that was normal before a fight. She had felt this way before competitions back on Earth. The difference was that losing here meant more than just personal defeat. It meant the galaxy would dismiss all of humanity. The announcer explained the rules. Combat continues until one fighter surrenders, cannot continue, or leaves the arena floor. Killing is forbidden and will result in disqualification. Are both fighters ready? Kate nodded. Krelnak did the same. A deep tone sounded through the arena. The fight had begun. Krelnak moved first. He was fast, much faster than Kate expected for someone his size. He crossed half the arena in seconds, reaching for her with those clawed hands. Kate sidestepped to the right. His claws cut through empty air where she had been standing. The lower gravity on the station helped her move quicker than she could on Earth. She had trained in Earth's heavier gravity for 3 months. That was an advantage. Krelnak spun around smoothly, his tail whipped to keep his balance. He was testing her, Kate realized. He wanted to see how fast she was, how she moved, what she would do under pressure. Kate circled slowly, keeping her distance. She watched how he moved. His knees bent slightly when he turned. His weight shifted to his left side, more than his right. Everyone had patterns. She just needed to find his. The crowd started making noise. Some aliens expected the fight to be over already. They were surprised the human was still standing. Krelnak attacked again. This time, he committed fully, both arms reaching to grab her in a hold. Kate dropped low and slid under his reach. As she passed, she struck his knee joint hard with her elbow. The Vrexian stumbled. Not much, just a slight loss of balance. But Kate saw surprise in his eyes. She had actually hurt him, even a little. Kate kept moving. She stayed light on her feet, never standing still. Krelnak chased her around the arena, trying to corner her. He was strong and fast. But Kate was faster in the lower gravity. She darted in and landed a quick strike to his ribs, then jumped back before he could counter. Then another strike to his arm, another to his side. She was scoring points, showing the crowd that humans could fight. The crowd's noise changed. It grew louder, more excited. This wasn't the quick defeat they expected. Krelnak roared in frustration. He changed his strategy, trying to drive Kate toward the arena wall. If he could trap her there, his strength would win. Kate saw what he was doing. She let him think it was working. She moved closer to the wall, acting like she hadn't noticed his plan. Krelnak's eyes showed confidence. He had her now. When he lunged forward to pin her against the wall, Kate suddenly burst toward him instead of away. It surprised him completely. She ducked under his guard and landed 3 hard strikes to his chest in rapid succession. Krelnak swung wildly, angry now. Kate caught his arm at the wrist. She had practiced this throw 10,000 times with Ben. She dropped her weight, turned her hip, and used Krelnak's own momentum against him. The Vrexian warrior flipped through the air. His 7 feet of muscle and scales crashed onto his back with a sound that echoed through the arena. The entire arena went silent. Kate stood ready, in case he got up to continue. Her chest heaved as she breathed hard. Krelnak lay on his back for a moment. Then slowly, he rolled over and stood up. He looked at Kate with those strange eyes. Then he did something Kate didn't expect. He bowed his head low and stepped backward 3 steps. It was the Vrexian gesture of surrender. The arena exploded with noise. Aliens from hundreds of species roared, clicked, whistled, and shouted. The announcer declared Kate the winner. The floor vibrated from the sound. Kate wanted to collapse, but she stayed standing. She bowed to Krelnak, showing respect. The Vrexian warrior walked over to her and extended his hand in the human gesture he had learned. "You have earned more than victory today," he said. His voice was full of respect. "You have earned honor." Kate shook his hand. "You fought well. I will remember this," Krelnak said. Kate started walking toward the exit, ready to leave the arena. Then the announcer's voice boomed again. "Challenge," declared. "Grath of Mandoria enters the arena." Kate's stomach dropped. She turned and saw a new fighter entering. This one was massive. He stood over 8 feet tall and was covered in thick gray fur. His arms were as big around as Kate's whole body. Mandorians were known across the galaxy as brutal fighters. By tradition, a winner could be challenged immediately. Kate couldn't refuse without forfeiting everything she had won. She was already tired. Her muscles burned and sweat covered her body. But she raised her fists and took a fighting stance. The announcer gave no speech this time. The tone sounded, and the second fight began. Grath charged like a truck. Kate tried to dodge, but he was surprisingly fast for his size. His huge hand caught her arm. His grip felt like metal closing around her. He lifted her off the ground with one hand like she weighed nothing. The crowd gasped. This looked like the end, but Kate had trained for this exact situation. She didn't pull away from his grip. That would be useless. Instead, she struck at his elbow joint. Once, twice, 3 times. Hard and fast. His grip weakened slightly. Kate brought her knee up hard into his wrist. It was a pressure point that Ben had found when studying Mandorian biology. Grath's hand opened reflexively, and Kate dropped free. She rolled away as Grath charged again. This time, Kate did something crazy. She ran straight at him instead of away. It confused him for just a second. At the last moment, Kate dropped into a slide. Her momentum carried her between his legs. As she slid under him, she struck upward at the back of his knee. It was a weak point on any creature that walked on 2 legs. Grath's leg buckled, and he stumbled forward. Kate was already moving. She jumped onto his back and wrapped her arms around his thick neck. It was a chokehold that would cut off blood to his brain. It worked on any species that breathed oxygen and had a similar nervous system. Grath roared and spun, trying to shake her off. He was incredibly strong. Kate's arms felt like they would tear from their sockets. But she held on. The Mandorian reached back, trying to grab her. His arms were too thick and muscular to bend far enough. Kate squeezed tighter, putting all her remaining strength into the hold. Grath's movements became slower. He dropped to one knee. Kate counted seconds in her head, making sure the hold was working. Finally, the massive alien slumped forward, unconscious. Kate let go and rolled away. She lay on the arena floor, gasping for air. Her entire body shook with exhaustion. Medical drones flew in to check on Grath. He would be fine once he woke up. The crowd was going crazy. The noise was so loud it hurt Kate's ears. She had beaten 2 opponents, a Vrexian warrior and a Mandorian brute. It seemed impossible. Kate forced herself to stand up. She swayed slightly but stayed on her feet. The announcer was saying something, but she couldn't focus on the words. Her vision blurred at the edges. Then she heard it. Another challenge. A 3rd fighter was entering the arena. Kate looked up and saw a new alien approaching. This one was about her height, but had 4 arms and a low center of gravity. The translator gave his name as Thexal. He was a Zerathian. In the viewing box above, Ambassador Brooks was talking urgently to Captain Wells. She needs to stop. She'll hurt herself badly if she keeps going. The rules don't allow it, Wells said. His face was tight with worry. She has to lose or surrender. If she surrenders now, it might undo everything she's accomplished. On the arena floor, Kate tried to steady her breathing. Every muscle in her body screamed. She had bruises forming everywhere. Grath's grip had left marks on her arm that would take weeks to heal. But she looked at the new fighter and nodded. She was ready. Thexal moved into position. All four of his arms spread wide. It looked like a greeting, but Kate recognized it as a fighting stance. He was calm and focused, not angry like Grath or testing like Krelnak. This one was a pure fighter. The tone sounded for the third time. Thexal didn't charge. He circled slowly, all four arms moving in patterns that made it hard to guess what he would do. Kate circled with him, trying to read his movements. The crowd had gone quiet again. They were watching two fighters who seemed evenly matched in size and speed. Thexal made a quick move with his upper arms. Kate reacted to block it. That was exactly what he wanted. His lower arms shot forward and grabbed her waist. Before Kate could counter, he pivoted and moved behind her. All four arms wrapped around her. Two held her arms. Two squeezed her chest. She was completely trapped. Thexal lifted her off the ground, squeezing to force the air from her lungs. Kate struggled but couldn't break free. The crowd sensed the end coming. After two victories, the humans' luck had finally run out. In the viewing box, Ambassador Brooks closed her eyes. She couldn't watch, but Kate wasn't giving up. Her mind raced, searching for any technique that could work. Then she remembered something her old teacher had said years ago. Sometimes, you need to do the unexpected thing. Kate stopped struggling against the hold. Instead, she threw her head backward as hard as she could. Kate's skull connected with Thexal's face. The impact sent pain shooting through her head, but she felt his grip loosen. It was only slight, but it was enough. She drove her heel down hard on his foot. Every species she had studied had sensitive feet. Thexal shifted his weight instinctively. That was the opening Kate needed. She dropped her hips and twisted into his hold. Her hands reached up and grabbed two of his forearms. Then, she did something her instructor had taught her years ago. He called it the impossible throw because it required perfect timing and a lot of luck. Kate rolled forward. The lower gravity helped. She used Thexal's own grip against him, converting his hold into momentum. The Zerathian fighter flew over her shoulder. He sailed through the air, all four arms reaching for anything to grab. He flew past the combat zone markers. His body hit the safety barrier beyond the arena floor with a loud crash. The match was over. By the rules, leaving the arena floor meant automatic defeat. Kate collapsed to her knees. She couldn't breathe properly. Her vision had dark spots. Her whole body felt like it was on fire. But she had won. 3 fights. 3 victories. The arena exploded with sound again. This time, it was even louder than before. Aliens from every species were on their feet. The noise shook the whole structure. Medical drones rushed to Kate. One scanned her while another offered water. She drank it slowly, her hands shaking. More drones were checking on Thexal, who was sitting up and looking dazed but otherwise fine. The announcer's voice cut through the chaos. Victory to Kate Morrison, of Earth. 3 consecutive wins in the proving grounds. This is unprecedented for a new species. Kate forced herself to stand. Her legs wobbled, but she stayed up. Krelnak, who had been watching from the side, approached her. He extended both hands in what Kate now knew was a high gesture of respect among Vrexians. "You have done something remarkable today," he said. "Not just winning, but how you won. You showed honor to defeated opponents. You adapted your strategy each time. You refused to quit, even when any logical being would have surrendered." Grath approached next. The big Mandorian was awake now, and walking slowly. He looked at Kate with what might have been amazement. "I will tell my people about this day. About the human who could not be broken." Even Thexal came over, being helped by medical staff. He raised one of his forearms in salute. "I have fought many warriors. You are among the best." Kate bowed to all three of them. "You all fought with great skill. I was lucky." "Luck is part of combat," Krelnok said. "But luck does not win 3 fights. Skill does. Heart does." The medical drones insisted Kate go to the medical center. She didn't argue. Dr. Helen Price was waiting there, looking both proud and angry. "You could have been killed," Helen said, as she ran scanners over Kate's body. "You have bruises everywhere. Your muscles are strained. You're lucky nothing broke." "Worth it," Kate managed to say. Her voice was rough. "Maybe," Helen said. "But you're not doing that again anytime soon." Kate spent the rest of that day in medical care. They gave her medicine for the pain and something to help her muscles heal faster. Captain Wells visited multiple times with updates. "The Coalition Council wants to meet with us tomorrow," Wells said. "They're offering humanity a fast track to membership." "Kate, you did more in one afternoon than we could have done in years of negotiations." Ambassador Brooks came by later. She sat down next to Kate's bed. "I watched the whole thing. I've never been more terrified or more proud at the same time." "Did it work?" Kate asked. "Do they respect us now?" "See for yourself," Brooks said. She pulled up a tablet and showed Kate news reports from across the galaxy. Every major network was covering the arena fights. The footage of Kate throwing Texal out of the arena was playing on repeat. The headlines were all different but said the same thing. "Humans are stronger than they look. New species proves itself. Earth's warrior shocks the galaxy." "We're getting messages from dozens of species," Brooks said. "The Vrexians want to set up military training exchanges. The Mandorians want to study human combat techniques. Even species that were completely cold to us before are now sending congratulations." Kate smiled despite the pain. "Good." Over the next 2 days, Kate stayed in the medical center recovering. But visitors came constantly. Human crew members from the Horizon wanted to congratulate her. Alien diplomats came to pay respects. Even random aliens who worked on the station stopped by to see the human fighter in person. A group of young Vrexians came by. Students who were training to be warriors. They asked Kate dozens of questions about her techniques, her training, her mindset during the fights. "How did you stay calm?" one asked. "You were facing opponents much larger than you." "I focused on what I could control," Kate said. "My movement, my breathing, my strategy. I couldn't control their size or strength, so I didn't worry about it." "And when Thexal had you in that hold?" another asked. "It looked hopeless." Kate thought about that moment. It wasn't hopeless. There's always something you can do, even if it's a small thing. Small things add up. On the 3rd day, Dr. Helen cleared Kate to leave the medical center. "Deal," Kate said. She walked through the station and noticed something different. Aliens who had ignored humans before now nodded in greeting. Some even moved aside to let her pass. A sign of respect. The humans on the station walked taller now. They weren't being dismissed anymore. The Coalition Council meeting was held in a large chamber. Kate attended along with Ambassador Brooks, Captain Wells, and the rest of the human delegation. The council was made up of leaders from the most important species in the galaxy. Council leader Mordak, the old Aldorian with silver fur, spoke first. "We have observed humanity carefully since your arrival, but your performance in the proving grounds has shown us something we did not expect." Another council member, a being made of what looked like living crystal, continued. "The proving grounds exist for a reason. They test not just physical ability, but character, how a species handles adversity, how they adapt, whether they show honor and respect." Kate Morrison demonstrated all of these qualities, Mordak said. She faced overwhelming odds 3 times and found a way to win each time. She showed mercy to her opponents. She earned their respect. This tells us that humanity possesses the qualities needed to thrive in galactic civilization. Ambassador Brooks spoke carefully. What does this mean for Earth's membership application? We are offering humanity provisional membership in the Galactic Coalition, Mordak said, with a fast track to full membership. We are also opening immediate trade negotiations and technology exchanges. The human delegation tried to contain their excitement. This was beyond what they had hoped for. Full membership usually took decades to achieve, but there was more. We have also received many requests, another council member said. This one looked like a being made of pure energy contained in a suit. 17 species want to arrange friendly arena matches with human fighters. They wish to test their warriors against yours. Kate raised her hand. With respect, I'm going to decline those offers for a while. Several council members made sounds that the translator rendered as laughter. Understandable, Mordak said. But humanity should consider establishing a permanent presence at the proving grounds. Not just for combat, but for training and cultural exchange. After the meeting, Captain Wells pulled Kate aside. But someone should stay here, as Earth's representative to the proving grounds. Kate looked at him. You want me to stay? You've become a symbol, Wells said. Not just of human strength, but of what we can achieve. I think you could do more good here than anywhere else right now. Kate thought about it. Staying meant missing Earth, missing her family and friends. But it also meant being part of something bigger, helping humanity take its place among the stars. I'll do it, she said. The next few weeks were busy. The Horizon prepared to return to Earth, while Kate helped set up a small human embassy on the station. More humans arrived, including Lieutenant Ben Carter, who had helped her train. Couldn't let you have all the fun, Ben said when he arrived. Besides, someone needs to keep you out of trouble. Kate laughed. I think the trouble is over for now. For now, Ben agreed. Kate settled into her new role. She didn't fight in the arena again, but she trained with fighters from different species. She learned their techniques and taught them human methods. She became an advisor on human capabilities and limitations. Krelnok visited often. The Vrexian warrior had become a friend. He was fascinated by human combat styles and wanted to learn more. Your species fights differently than any other, he told Kate one day during training. Most species rely on their natural advantages. Strength, speed, armor, venom. Humans have none of these things. So you learn to use technique and strategy instead. We had to, Kate said. On Earth, humans weren't the strongest or fastest. We survived by being smart and adaptable. That is exactly what makes you dangerous, Krelnok said. And why you will do well in this galaxy. Ships from Earth began arriving regularly at the station. Trade ships, science vessels, and exploration craft. Humans were spreading out into the galaxy, and everywhere they went, people knew about the human who had won 3 fights in the proving grounds. Kate watched it all happen and felt proud. She had come to the arena thinking only about winning. But she had accomplished something more important. She had shown the galaxy that humans belonged, that they could hold their own against any challenge. One evening, Kate stood at the observation window and looked out at the stars. Hundreds of ships moved through space, heading to different worlds. Some of them carried humans now. Earth was no longer alone in the universe. 6 months passed since the arena fights. Kate's life had changed completely. She was no longer just a Marine or a diplomat. She had become something new, a bridge between humanity and the galaxy. The human embassy on Station Kepler 7 grew from a few rooms to an entire section. More humans arrived every week. Scientists who wanted to study alien technology. Traders looking for new markets. Explorers planning expeditions to unknown worlds. Kate trained with fighters from across the galaxy. Each species had their own style. The Vrexians were fast and precise. The Mandorians used raw power. The Zerathians relied on multiple limbs to overwhelm opponents. Kate learned from all of them, and taught them in return. "Human techniques are strange," said a young Vrexian named Sektar during a training session. "You use an opponent's strength against them. You turn their advantages into disadvantages." Kate nodded. "We call it leverage. When you can't overpower someone, you outsmart them instead." Word of her training sessions spread. Soon, fighters from species Kate had never heard of came to learn. She taught them throws, holds, and pressure points. In exchange, they taught her their methods. It became a cultural exchange that went far beyond simple combat. Ben worked alongside her, helping manage the growing embassy. He handled the political side while Kate focused on the physical training programs. They made a good team. "We got another request," Ben said one morning. He held up a tablet showing a message. "The Korath want to send a delegation to train with you." Kate looked at the message. The Korath were a warrior species known for their pride. They rarely asked other species for anything. "That's significant." "Thing. Very." Ben agreed. 3 months ago, they wouldn't even meet with humans. Now they want to learn from us. Captain Wells visited from Earth regularly, bringing supplies and updates. On one visit, he brought news that made Kate smile. "What?" Kate said. "That's not necessary." "The Council disagreed," Wells said. "Station Morrison will be operational in 2 years. It'll be humanity's gateway to the galaxy." Kate didn't know what to say. She had just been trying to help. She never expected this level of recognition. "You changed everything, Kate," Wells continued. "Before your fights, we were just another new species. Now we're partners in galactic civilization. Trade is booming. Our scientists are collaborating with alien researchers. We're even planning joint military exercises with the Vrexians." Life on the station settled into a rhythm. Kate trained in the mornings, met with diplomats in the afternoons, and studied alien cultures in the evenings. She learned to speak basic Vrexian and could understand some Mandorian. The translator helped with complex conversations, but knowing the basics showed respect. Krelnak became her closest alien friend. They trained together almost daily. One day, he invited her to visit his homeworld. "Vrexia would be honored to host you," he said. "My people speak of you often. Many want to meet the human who defeated me." Kate smiled. "You made it easy by being such a good opponent." "I did not make it easy," Krelnak said. "I fought with all my skill. You simply fought better that day." The visit to Vrexia was amazing. The planet had crystal forests that sparkled in the light of their twin suns, cities that looked like they were carved from gemstones. Kate met Krelnak's family and trained with the best Vrexian warriors. They treated her with deep respect. "You have brought honor to combat," an elder Vrexian told her. "In our culture, how you fight matters as much as winning. You fought with honor. That is why you are remembered." When Kate returned to the station, she found more changes waiting. The Coalition had created a new position, just for her: combat liaison. Her job was to help different species understand each other's fighting styles and military capabilities. It was part diplomat, part teacher, part warrior. "It's perfect for you," Ambassador Brooks said. "You're the only person in the galaxy who could do this job." Kate accepted the position. It gave her authority to travel between worlds, set up training programs, and advise on military matters. She was busier than ever, but loved the work. One day, a ship arrived, carrying a special passenger. It was Kate's old martial arts instructor, Greg Palmer. He was in his 70s now, but still moved with grace. Earth had sent him to help establish formal combat training programs. "I saw the arena footage," Greg said when he saw Kate. "You remembered everything I taught you." "Everything," Kate confirmed. "Especially the part about doing the unexpected thing." Greg laughed. "That's my girl." Together, they developed a training curriculum that combined human techniques with alien methods. It became so popular that the coalition approved it for their military academies. Young fighters from dozens of species would now learn techniques that originated on Earth. Not everything was peaceful. The galaxy had dangers. Pirates operated in remote sectors. Some species still raided others for resources. The coalition maintained a military force to keep order. One day, alarms sounded through the station. A distress call had come from a mining colony. Pirates were attacking. The coalition was sending ships to respond. Kate was in the command center when it happened. "We need someone who understands combat and can coordinate between our different species," said Commander Vexariel, a Vrexian officer. "Someone the crews trust." Everyone looked at Kate. "I'm not a military commander," Kate said. "But you are someone every species respects," Vexariel replied. Kate boarded a coalition warship for the first time. The crew was mixed, with Vrexians, Mandorians, humans, and several other species, all working together. They jumped to faster than light speed and headed for the mining colony. The pirates had 3 ships. They were attacking the colony's defense stations. The coalition force had 5 ships, but coordination between different species was always challenging. Each had their own tactics and communication styles. Kate worked with the commanders from each ship. The human ship can provide covering fire, while the Vrexian ships flank from above. The Mandorians can draw their attention with a frontal approach. "Why would we draw attention?" the Mandorian captain growled. "Because your ships have the strongest armor," Kate explained. "You can take hits that would destroy the others. While they focus on you, the rest of us strike from angles they can't defend." The Mandorian considered this. Then he grinned, showing large teeth. The plan worked. The pirates found themselves surrounded and outmatched. They surrendered without anyone being killed. The mining colony was saved. "That was impressive coordination," Commander Vexariel told Kate afterward. "You helped 5 different species work as one unit." "I just applied the same principles from the arena," Kate said. "Use everyone's strengths. Cover each other's weaknesses. Work together." The successful mission added to Kate's reputation. Now she wasn't just the arena fighter. She was someone who could bring different species together to accomplish goals. The coalition started asking her to advise on other matters beyond just combat. Earth sent more people to work with her. Experts in various fields who could help build relationships with alien species. The human presence on the station grew to over 100 people. Kate trained them all in basic protocol for dealing with different species. The Vrexians value directness. Don't waste their time with small talk. The Eldorians prefer gentle diplomacy. Never raise your voice with them. The Mandorians respect strength but also honesty. Admit when you don't know something. 2. 1 year after the arena fights, the coalition held a ceremony. They were officially granting Earth full membership. Kate stood on stage with Ambassador Brooks, Captain Wells, and other human leaders. Leaders from dozens of alien species were present. Mordak, the council leader, spoke to the assembled crowd. 1 year ago, humanity entered our space as strangers. Today, they stand as full members of the Galactic Coalition. This rapid integration is unprecedented. It happened because one human showed us what her species was capable of. Quote, quote, quote. The crowd made sounds of approval in a dozen different languages. Kate Morrison demonstrated not just combat skill, but the values we seek in all coalition members. Courage, adaptability, honor, respect for others. These are the qualities that bind our civilization together. After the ceremony, Kate was surrounded by well-wishers. Aliens and humans both wanted to congratulate her. It was overwhelming. Krelnok found her later, when the crowd had thinned. "How does it feel? To know you changed history?" Kate thought about it. "Weird. I was just trying to do my job." "You did much more than your job," Krelnok said. "You changed how the entire galaxy sees your species. That is no small thing." That night, Kate stood at her favorite observation window. Earth was visible in the distance, a blue dot among the stars. More human ships were arriving at the station. Trade vessels, full of goods. Science ships ready to explore. Military ships preparing for joint exercises. A year ago, Kate had walked into that arena not knowing if she would win or lose. She had just known she had to try. That one decision had changed everything. Not just for her, but for all of humanity. Ben joined her at the window. Thinking deep thoughts? Just remembering, Kate said. A year ago, I was terrified. Now look at us. You were never terrified, Ben said. You were ready. Kate smiled. Maybe a little of both. They watched the ships move through space in comfortable silence. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders. And humanity was finally part of it all. Not as weak newcomers, but as equals. As partners. As friends. 2 years had passed since Kate first stepped into the proving grounds. The galaxy was a different place now, at least for humans. Trade routes connected Earth to dozens of worlds. Human colonies were being established on new planets. Children on Earth grew up knowing aliens were real, and that humanity had friends among the stars. Kate's role continued to grow. She traveled constantly, visiting different worlds to establish training programs and build relationships. Her title was still Combat Liaison, but her actual job was much bigger. She was an ambassador without the formal title. One day, she received an invitation that surprised her. The Korath Imperium wanted her to visit their homeworld. The Korath were one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy. They rarely invited outsiders to their territory. This is a huge honor, Ambassador Brooks said when Kate showed her the invitation. The Korath don't trust easily. They must really respect you. Kate arrived on Korath Prime aboard a diplomatic vessel. The planet was harsh and beautiful. Rocky mountains reached toward a red sky. The Korath themselves were impressive. They stood nearly 9 feet tall, with thick skin that looked like armor plates. Their culture valued strength above all else. The Korath Emperor, a massive warrior named Korg Thul, greeted Kate personally. We have watched humanity closely since your arena victories. We see potential in your species. Thank you, Emperor, Kate said. She had learned that Korath respected formal titles. We wish to propose a joint military training program, Korg Thul continued. Your techniques combined with our strength could create formidable warriors. We would share our knowledge in exchange for yours. Kate discussed the proposal with Earth's government. They approved it enthusiastically. The Korath were offering something no other species had, a full military partnership. It would make Earth's defenses much stronger. Over the next 6 months, Kate helped establish the training program. Young Korath warriors learned human combat techniques. Human soldiers learned Korath battle tactics. It was challenging because the species were so different physically, but both sides adapted. A young Korath warrior named Thorgal became one of Kate's best students. Despite his massive size, he learned to use leverage and technique instead of just relying on strength. You have changed how I think about combat, Thorgal told Kate one day. I always believed strength was everything. Now I understand that skill matters more. Strength is important, Kate said. But knowing when and how to use it is more important. The program was so successful that other species wanted to join. Soon, Kate was overseeing a multi-species military academy. Warriors from across the galaxy came to learn and train together. It promoted understanding between species and reduced conflicts. Back on Station Kepler 7, the human population had grown to over 500. The embassy had expanded into a full diplomatic complex. Earth now had representatives serving on various coalition committees and councils. Ben had been promoted to deputy ambassador. He handled most of the daily diplomatic work, while Kate focused on military and cultural matters. They still met regularly to coordinate. We got an interesting proposal, Ben said during one meeting. He showed Kate a document. The coalition wants to create a special response force. Mixed species teams that can handle crises anywhere in the galaxy. They want you to help train them. Kate read through the proposal. It made sense. The galaxy needed rapid response teams that could work across species barriers. This could be good. When do they want to start? Next month, Ben said. They're already selecting candidates from different species. The response force training was intense. Kate worked with 100 carefully selected warriors from 20 different species. They had to learn to work together despite different biologies, cultures, and fighting styles. Communication is everything, Kate told them during the first session. You need to trust each other completely. That means understanding how each species thinks and fights. She pushed them hard. They trained in different gravity levels, hostile environments, and high-stress situations. Some candidates couldn't handle it and dropped out, but those who remained became an incredibly effective unit. Commander Vex Rill, who had worked with Kate during the pirate incident, was chosen to lead the response force. You have created something special here, he told Kate. A force that can handle any situation. The response force proved its worth quickly. They rescued scientists trapped on a collapsing space station. They evacuated civilians from a planet threatened by a natural disaster. They even stopped a conflict between two minor species before it escalated into war. Kate watched their success with pride. This was what she had hoped to achieve. Not just humans proving themselves, but different species learning to work together. 3 years after the arena fights, Kate was invited to speak at the Coalition Assembly. It was the highest legislative body in galactic civilization. Leaders from every member species attended. Kate stood before them and spoke about cooperation. 3 years ago, I walked into an arena because humanity needed to prove itself. I fought 3 opponents and won, but the real victory wasn't in the fighting. It was in what came after. She gestured to the assembled leaders. We learned that our differences make us stronger. Humans brought new perspectives. Other species shared their wisdom. Together, we accomplished things none of us could do alone. The assembly voted on a new initiative. They would create cultural exchange programs between all species, not just military training, but art, science, philosophy, everything. The goal was to build understanding and friendship across the galaxy. Kate was asked to oversee the programs. It was a massive responsibility, but she accepted. She assembled a team of humans and aliens to help manage the work. One team member was Thexal, the Zarathian fighter she had thrown out of the arena years ago. They had become good friends since then. I am glad you defeated me that day, Thexal said. It taught me humility. It also started a friendship I treasure. I'm glad too, Kate said. Though, I was pretty lucky. There is no luck in 3 victories, Thexal replied. Only skill and determination. The cultural programs flourished. Artists from different species collaborated on projects. Scientists worked together on research. Philosophers debated ideas. The galaxy became more connected than ever before. Kate's old instructor, Greg Palmer, stayed on the station to help run the combat training programs. One evening, they met for dinner at a restaurant that served food from dozens of worlds. I'm proud of you, Greg said. You took what I taught you and created something much bigger. I just applied the principles, Kate said. Use leverage. Adapt to your opponent. Never give up. Those principles work for more than just fighting, Greg observed. They work for life, for building relationships, for changing the galaxy. Kate smiled. I guess they do. 5 years after the arena fights, Earth opened its first embassy on an alien homeworld. It was on Vrexia, Krelnok's planet. Kate attended the ceremony along with hundreds of other dignitaries. Krelnok was there, now a high-ranking military commander. Remember when we fought? He asked Kate. I thought I would defeat you easily. I remember being terrified, Kate admitted. You were so much bigger and stronger. But you found a way to win, Krelnak said. That is the human gift. Finding ways when others see only obstacles. The ceremony was beautiful. Humans and Vrexians stood together, celebrating their friendship. It symbolized how far both species had come. Later, Kate received a message from Earth. Her family wanted her to come home for a visit. She hadn't been back in over 3 years. It was time. The trip to Earth felt strange. She had changed so much. Seen so much. Done so much. Would home still feel like home? When she arrived, her family surrounded her with love. Her parents, siblings, old friends. They wanted to hear every story. Kate told them about the arena, about training warriors from across the galaxy, about the friends she had made. "You're famous here," her sister told her. "There are statues of you. Schools named after you. You're a hero." "I'm just a Marine who got lucky," Kate said. "You're much more than that," her father said. "You changed humanity's place in the universe." Kate visited her old martial arts school. New students trained there now. They all recognized her immediately. The current instructor asked her to speak to the class. "What you learn here isn't just about fighting," Kate told them. "It's about discipline, respect, understanding yourself and others. These skills will help you no matter what you do in life." A young girl raised her hand. "Is it true? You beat 3 aliens in one day?" Kate smiled. "Yes. But the important part isn't that I beat them. It's that we all became friends afterward. Sometimes you have to prove yourself first. But once you do, you can build something better than conflict." After 2 weeks on Earth, Kate prepared to return to the station. Her family understood. She had work to do. Important work that only she could do. "Will you come back?" her mother asked. "Of course," Kate said. "This is home. It will always be home. But I have another home now too. Out there, among the stars." Back on station Kepler 7, Kate resumed her duties. But she had a new perspective. Earth wasn't separate from galactic civilization anymore. It was part of it. Humans were part of it. And that integration would continue for generations. Ben met her when she arrived. "Welcome back. We missed you." "I missed this place too," Kate said. "What did I miss while I was gone?" 3 new species applied for coalition membership. 2 conflicts were resolved peacefully. And someone suggested we establish a museum about human integration. They want to include artifacts from your arena fights. Kate laughed. "A museum? That seems excessive." "You're part of history now," Ben said. "Might as well embrace it." That evening, Kate stood at her usual observation window. More ships than ever moved through space. Human ships mixed with alien vessels. Trade, exploration, and friendship all happening at once. Krelnak joined her. He visited the station regularly now. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "How much has changed?" Kate said. 5 years ago, humans didn't know aliens existed. Now, we're partners in galactic civilization. "It changed because you made it change," Krelnak said. "One person can make a difference. You proved that." "Maybe," Kate said. "But I had help. From you. From Ben. From everyone who believed we could work together." They watched the ships in comfortable silence. Then Krelnak spoke again. "The arena fights happened 5 years ago. There will be a ceremony. The coalition wants to honor the anniversary. They want you there." "Of course," Kate said. It started everything. The ceremony was held in the same arena where Kate had fought. Thousands attended. Leaders from every coalition species. Warriors she had trained. Friends she had made. All gathering to remember that day. Kate stood on the arena floor again. It looked different now. Not scary. Just a place. But it was a place that had changed everything. Mordak spoke to the crowd. 5 years ago, we witnessed something remarkable. Not just a victory, but a statement. Humanity announced itself to the galaxy. Not with words, but with action. The crowd erupted in sounds of approval. Kate felt overwhelmed by the response. After the ceremony, young people from various species approached her. Students who wanted to train with her. Warriors who wanted to learn. Children who saw her as a hero. Kate spoke to each of them patiently. Remember that strength comes in many forms. Physical power is just one type. Mental strength matters. Emotional strength matters. The strength to keep trying when things are hard. That's what really counts. That night, Kate wrote in her journal. She had started keeping one to document everything that happened. Maybe someday, it would help others understand this time. She wrote, 5 years ago, I was scared, but I fought anyway. I won not because I was the strongest, but because I refused to quit. That taught me something important. The biggest obstacles aren't physical, they're mental. When you believe you can find a way, usually you can. Humanity has found its way. We're part of something bigger now. The galaxy is our home, just like Earth is. And we'll keep growing, keep learning, keep reaching for new possibilities. The arena fights were just the beginning. The real story is what we do next. Kate closed the journal and looked out at the stars. The galaxy was full of challenges and opportunities. Mysteries to solve. Friendships to build. Problems to overcome. And humanity was ready for all of it. She smiled. The adventure was just beginning.